What's the attitude or strategy that you would coach a business person to consider before they decide to step in and do this?
Do podcasting. I mean, I think I would, and this is ironic considering what we do, but I usually encourage people to think blogging first, because I believe that podcasting does work really well, but it works better alongside text as well. And that's partly because, like you say, that's cool to know that iTunes is up there in terms of search engines, but it is still a fraction of the volume of searches that goes through Google itself, that goes through text search. So you can grow an audience through iTunes by all means, but it's there's limits to what you can do, I would say, with that alone. Whereas if you're a business, particularly, certainly if you're a hobbyist, if you're just creating a fun show, you're just looking to grow on a YouTube audience, an iTunes audience, then great, just put out a podcast. But if you're a business, you're looking to solve people's problems. It's about being found when people need you, when they're looking for a solution to the problem that you solve. And a huge part of that is first typing into Google. So for me, one of the sort of the normal funnels around how a business can grow a good podcast is that they start capturing those questions. You're blogging on that, but you're blogging and you're then repurposing that into the other content as well, as in a podcast, perhaps even a video. It's something that I've talked about a lot in the past, is a content stacking approach, which is when you think about the content you're solving, the problems you're solving, and you create, let's say, a season of content. Let's take your first 5 to 10 biggest problems that you solve. Every business, they always have 1 or 2 questions which customers ask them most often. Right. So think up those, like sit down for just 20 minutes and write down those top 5 to 10 questions that you get asked. And often there'll be a group in there, maybe 4 or 5 of those questions that are a theme. You can group them together, and maybe you can create a season of 6 to 8 episodes for that first season, so you can invest in those first 5, 6, 7, 8 episodes. What I normally do then is I'll create a blog post on each topic. I'll go and then record a podcast episode, but with video as well. Often you don't need to do this, but it's a little bonus if you can. You'll record that podcast episode based on that blog post, and it's often really easy to record a podcast episode if you've just written a blog post, and then you speak about it. Often it's much more tight, it's much more easy to do, much less mistakes, because you've just thought it all through. It's all in your head, so it just kind of spills out onto the page. And if you can do it in video as well, then you can take the audio track off to publish as a podcast. You can take the video track, you can take highlights from it, put shorter clips on YouTube, or even the whole thing if you really want to. And then you end up with these 3 bits of media. You've got a blog post, a podcast, and a video. All 3 created in much less time than it takes to create any one of those individually. And that's really powerful.
Amazing, right? That's the way to do that.